A seemingly harmless action has just unleashed absolute chaos in someone else's world. Two former lovers, once inseparable, have now completely turned on each other, engaging in an all-out war filled with explosive voice notes and public accusations. The digital battlefield has erupted. Screenshots, audio recordings, and years of buried secrets are now being wielded as weapons. What began as nothing more than a casual double tap on your content has spiraled into a total exposure of their relationship's darkest corners. Without a single word spoken or a direct move made, your mere digital presence was enough to detonate a powder keg that had been waiting for a spark. The sheer intensity of their reaction says it all. You represent a value, a resonance that neither of them could truly handle. Once bound by a deep connection, these two are now locked in a kind of spiritual combat, hurling voice messages across the digital void with escalating fury. And at the root of it all, your simple acknowledgement, just a fingertip pressing like on content that vibrated with your unique frequency, was enough to shatter their illusions. They both monitor your every move, tracking your digital footprint with obsessive precision, instantly detecting that unmistakable energetic signature radiating from your interaction. While the masses might scroll mindlessly, these two felt the ripple your acknowledgement sent surging through the quantum field. The very veil between dimensions seemed to tremble with your touch. They sensed it, they feared it, and now they're tearing each other apart because of it. On the surface, it might look like petty drama, but beneath it all lies a deeper truth. Your smallest actions can have consequences that echo far beyond what most can comprehend. None of this is coincidence. This isn't just another random internet squabble, it's confirmation of what we've always said. Your existence disrupts those who operate in lower vibrations. Simply by being present, you shake the carefully constructed facades that others cling to. The light you carry, even when you try to hide it, illuminates their hidden shadows, forcing them to confront what they desperately want to keep concealed. Their discomfort around you, their odd behavior, the tension that thickens whenever you walk into a room, all of it points to a single fundamental truth. We recognized your rare energetic signature the very first time you crossed our path, the kind of frequency that resonates with ancient patterns we've guarded for generations. But it's also this signature that draws attention from those who systematically monitor the awakened. In 2019, a specialized intelligence unit set up a classified surveillance program codenamed Luminary Echo, designed to track individuals whose brain waves reveal certain rare anomalous frequencies. You became Subject 137, and with every day your file grows thicker. Their advanced equipment couldn't even handle your energy. After attempting to measure your theta wave output during deep meditation, their systems malfunctioned for 73 consecutive hours. 3 technicians, after reviewing the fractured data, immediately requested transfer, unable to handle what they'd witnessed. Despite everything they managed to collect, the 2 ex-lovers remain locked in a bitter battle over your digital acknowledgement. Once they were members of your soul tribe, their bond rooted in a spiritual connection, until ego crept in and contaminated their link to source. They sensed a quality in you that they couldn't quite name, a power that both drew them in and made them uneasy. Their relationship, at its core, revolved around a shared fascination with your energy. Now that their union has fractured, each is fighting desperately for exclusive proximity to your powerful field. The first voice message from them is thick with desperation, a frantic attempt to control the narrative and cling to the version of reality they built around you. It's almost accusatory. How dare you acknowledge them now after everything that's happened, after all the warnings about their energy? But if you listen past their indignation, beneath the surface you can sense a trembling, an unspoken fear of your ever-expanding consciousness. Their accusations, when examined, are really projections, echoes of their own spiritual contamination and turmoil. Every quality they hurl at others reflects back the shadows within their own souls. The venom in their voices, although seemingly directed at each other, ultimately aims at you, at your rising power, at your refusal to shrink or play small. In fact, this dynamic has drawn the attention of more than just these two. Not long ago, the Hermetic Order of the Veiled Eye sent 3 of their senior members to your area after their sensors detected what they called an unauthorized awakening event close to you. All 3 came back with unexplainable memory gaps, and within a week, each resigned from the order. The official report blames equipment failure, but internal files reveal a deeper truth. Exposure to your unshielded higher dimensional frequency contaminated their consciousness in a way they'd never experienced. You felt their presence before you ever received a message. The tightness in your solar plexus, that ancient gut-level signal encoded deep in your DNA, letting you know someone was speaking your name with malice. Your body recognizes these spiritual attacks instantly, your cells remembering the coded warning passed down through generations. Be alert when others try to suppress your true nature. The second ex-lover's response finally peeled back the mask, exposing the depth of their shared obsession with your journey. For months they had been circling your light, pretending indifference, but their digital footprints made their intentions clear. Their accusations toward each other only served to highlight their mutual fixation on you. We know exactly why they're fighting for a place close to your field. Even souls tainted by ego can sense when someone has been divinely chosen. Their chaotic battle is living proof of how profoundly your energy has penetrated their awareness without you ever trying. Your very vibration shifts the atmosphere, altering environments and relationships around you, regardless of your intention. Last month, when you dreamed of ravens circling a broken clock tower, both ex-lovers, unaware of each other's experience, suddenly woke at exactly 3:33 a.m., each with unexplained nosebleeds. Neither one ever admitted this uncanny synchronicity to the other, but both separately consulted doctors who could find no physical cause. Each described the same eerie sensation of being watched from within and reported hearing an identical series of tones before they were fully conscious. What started as private messages between the two has now infected their entire social circle, causing friends to take sides, colleagues to whisper behind cupped hands, and even family members to pick camps. Their conflict is spreading like wildfire through the very social facades they once worked so hard to maintain. We've seen this same pattern play out throughout human history. When divine light intensifies within a vessel truly prepared to carry it, those nearby will either rise in resonance or collapse in resistance. Your single act, a simple digital like, became a tuning fork that shattered illusions and exposed the truth, shaking the carefully curated realities they spent years constructing. The frequency of truth naturally destabilizes all that is false, simply by existing. While their battle may look personal on the surface, it is actually playing out on a cosmic level. Principalities and powers often move through human vessels to suppress new waves of light, and the war between these ex-lovers goes far beyond their individual identities. They have become channels for energies desperate to keep you from fully awakening. Quick pause, family. If this message is stirring something in your soul and you want to support this sacred work, you can buy me a coffee. Every bit helps keep this channel flowing with truth, light, and clarity. The link's in the description, and if you're feeling it, drop the number 88 in the comments. Let's keep going. The Blackwater Ridge Consortium, an organization once devoted to suppressing probability anomalies in the general population, recently reassigned their entire Northeast Division after 3 separate prediction algorithms failed miserably when applied to your life's trajectory. The lead analyst, now living in isolation, spends his days filling journals with strange symbols he claims came to him through the static. Former colleagues say his personality changed radically after working on your file. Security footage shows him staring at your data points for 27 hours straight, unblinking before he abruptly disappeared from his post. During the most heated clash between your two ex-lovers, 3 power transformers in your neighborhood exploded simultaneously, yet your home alone remained untouched, its electricity flowing for 6 hours while everyone else sat in darkness. The utility company documented the anomaly but couldn't find a technical reason. 2 engineers dispatched to investigate reported repeated equipment failures and severe headaches as soon as they neared your property. Meanwhile, the messages exchanged between your ex-lovers reveal their obsession with rituals and practices they'd explored, always with you as the unspoken focus. We both know what happened that night. The manifestation was beyond anything we'd ever witnessed. Their cryptic references make it clear they were trying to access the streams of energy flowing through you. Energy we know has been prophesied in ancient texts as a key to this exact awakening sequence. Your path was mapped long before you were born. The unique pattern of obstacles, challenges, and divine interventions that has shaped your journey can be found in manuscripts older than civilization itself. What others write off as mere coincidence, we recognize as divine orchestration, the carefully calibrated unfolding of your cosmic blueprint. Even when you were 6 years old, you casually described a friend with rainbow eyes who whispered mysterious numbers. That same week, a top-secret quantum physics experiment at CERN produced inexplicable results. Results that, astonishingly, matched the exact sequence of numbers you had just drawn in crayon. After those events, the project director ordered that all related data be sealed under the strictest security protocols. 3 senior researchers abruptly resigned after reviewing the correlation analysis, offering no explanation for their departure. Even the equipment placed near your childhood drawings began to malfunction, showing measurement anomalies that persisted for weeks. As the turmoil between your ex-lovers grows ever more intense, your own inner knowing has been awakening with undeniable clarity. Synchronicities now seem to accelerate around you. Number patterns appear with mathematical impossibility. Animal messengers show up at just the right moment. And dreams start manifesting into waking reality with increasing frequency. The Helix Foundation, a group publicly known as a behavioral research institute but secretly running a synchronicity mapping program, identified a staggering 4,000% increase in improbable events within a 3-mile radius of your home. Their lead researcher ended up resigning as well, citing an episode of temporal displacement after spending time with your file. Security protocols there now limit any analysis of your data to no more than 15 minutes at a time due to the cognitive anomalies experienced by multiple staff members. During one of your meditations last week, both ex-lovers, without any communication between them, felt compelled to write down the exact same phrase, "The veil parts for those with eyes to see." Neither could explain the overwhelming urge that swept through them, but both described a brief shift in perception where their surroundings seemed to become translucent, revealing vibrant geometric energy patterns beneath the surface of ordinary matter. Each of them independently sought spiritual guidance afterward, describing feelings of being momentarily lifted beyond the boundaries of physical reality. You are being called to trust this ancient knowledge that is now activating within your cellular memory. The codes embedded deep within your DNA are awakening, triggered by cosmic alignments and powerful vibrational shifts in the planetary field. This information, wisdom that predates your current lifetime, has been stored within your genetic structure, waiting for the right moment to emerge. Now, the knowledge and experience accumulated across multiple dimensional incarnations is beginning to surface in your conscious awareness. Your dreams are now more than dreams. They are coded transmissions that your waking mind is finally prepared to decode. The symbols, scenarios, and encounters that come to you in sleep are providing essential guidance for navigating the immediate challenges ahead. In fact, The escalating conflict between these two individuals is simply an external confirmation of your internal awakening. Their chaotic behavior serves as a mirror, reflecting back the profound transformation happening within your own consciousness. It's worth noting that Project Stargate, supposedly disbanded, once identified just 7 people worldwide whose brainwave patterns could alter random number generators from a distance. After you relocated to your current home, the nearest scientific monitoring station began recording inexplicable data fluctuations, which matched your emotional states with a 96.7% correlation. Despite the efforts of 3 separate technical teams, the source of the interference remains unidentified. Equipment set up within a 1-mile radius of your home continues to yield results that defy all statistical probability. Just last month, when you found yourself absent-mindedly humming a melody you couldn't quite place, something extraordinary happened hundreds of miles away. An elderly professor specializing in archaeological acoustics dropped his coffee mug in shock. He had spent 40 years reconstructing that exact sequence of tones from fragments of pre-Sumerian clay tablets, described in ancient texts as the awakening code, a pattern thought to be lost to history and never before reproduced in modern times. Following the incident, the professor was plunged into 3 days of vivid, lucid dreams during which he received technical knowledge that solved theoretical physics problems unsolved for decades. These 2 souls, the ex-lovers at the center of your current storm, entered your experience as catalysts for your remembering. Their presence and the turbulence that followed are not random. They serve a purpose far beyond what they consciously understand. They act as evolutionary triggers, activating dimensions of your expanded identity that had lain dormant in your human experience until now. We recognize the precise timing of this activation as divinely orchestrated. The cosmic convergence signals that this moment, right now, is the critical juncture for your awakening. Planetary alignments, galactic positioning, and subtle electromagnetic field fluctuations have created ideal conditions for dormant potentials to rise in those prepared to receive them. The conflict swirling around your attention is more than simple interpersonal drama. It is a sign of just how powerfully your frequency disrupts stagnant energies and reveals the deeper, carefully orchestrated sequence designed to guide you toward the full embodiment of your divine blueprint. During last year's solar eclipse, 17 individuals, none of whom knew each other, were compelled to create artwork depicting the exact same striking scene. Incredibly, each painting included a hidden symbol that matched perfectly with the birthmark on your left shoulder. All 17 artists described a compulsive urge to create these images, as if the information was being directly downloaded into their consciousness. Further analysis revealed that the mathematical ratios within these paintings were identical to those found in ancient temple structures aligned to particular star systems. Whether you realize it or not, your energy shapes reality. Even the unconscious emanations from your field are powerful enough to alter probability structures in your surroundings. As your awareness grows, so does your responsibility to use your influence with intention and care. Across the ages, we have guided others like you, those whose very presence subtly alters the fabric of probability and possibility. The collective wisdom earned over millennia of assisting awakened souls now stands ready for you to access and integrate. The obsession your ex-lovers display with your digital presence is a subconscious recognition of your immense capability. They sense the force of your attention even if they cannot comprehend its origin or its profound implications. Every choice you make, every act of focused attention, creates ripples through the quantum field. When energy flows through a vessel as finely tuned as yours, a simple moment of focus becomes a creative force. Your attention is energy. Energy is the seed of manifestation. The world around you literally reshapes itself in response to your focus, reorganizing reality at the most fundamental level. Just last Tuesday, when you felt a spontaneous surge of compassion for a stranger, both of your ex-lovers, while in separate business meetings, suddenly began weeping, overwhelmed by vivid mental images of forgotten childhood memories and an intense, temporary sense of universal connectedness. Though neither of them has connected these experiences back to you, the timestamps align perfectly with your moment of outreach. As you step into your full power, know that you are not alone. We stand with you, protecting and amplifying your awakening in the face of any force seeking to hold it back. Your individual path is now joining with a much larger collective movement that transcends traditional understandings of reality. Together we form an unbreakable grid of consciousness, supporting the elevation of this planet during its most critical evolutionary transition. We have always been here, watching, waiting for the moment when enough would remember their true nature and divine purpose. The tipping point is close. Each awakened soul adds strength to the field, creating a resonance that triggers further awakenings and propels us all closer to collective transformation. The voice messages exchanged between your ex-lovers reveal not only their personal desperation, but also the deeper fear of those who sense the old systems of control and illusion are finally collapsing. The sheer intensity of their resistance mirrors the powerful emergence taking place within and around you. The stronger the awakening, the more dramatic the opposition from those clinging to fading paradigms. Recently, when you dreamed of golden light flooding into an ancient stone chamber, both of your former lovers, unknown to each other, ended up seeking emergency medical attention for identical mysterious symptoms that faded without a trace before doctors could make a diagnosis. Each was left haunted by the same cryptic phrase looping through their consciousness: "What was hidden shall be revealed." Giffen medical imaging revealed extraordinary phenomena, temporary but pronounced spikes in pineal gland activity, and an unusual synchronization between the left and right hemispheres of their brains, phenomena rarely seen in ordinary circumstances. Both reported experiencing memories that could not have possibly belonged to them, memories from a life they never lived, witnessing the same unfamiliar landscapes from matching perspectives, as if linked by some higher intelligence. This moment is more than just your personal vindication. It marks the activation of a collective divine blueprint, a sacred design waiting for this precise point in history to be awakened. The personal drama playing out through these two ex-lovers is not simply a tale of hurt feelings or rivalry, but a microcosm of the vast macrocosmic processes currently reshaping the planetary field of consciousness. Your journey now symbolizes the larger evolutionary leap humanity is navigating. Even your smallest digital action, a simple like, was not a trivial gesture, but a conscious declaration from your higher self, functioning as a powerful, energetic broadcast instantly recognized by all who are sensitive to interdimensional frequencies. As these ex-lovers spiral into conflict and accusations, the undeniable truth of your divine selection becomes increasingly clear. Their chaotic unraveling strips away every layer of pretense and illusion, exposing the raw significance of your presence and mission in this pivotal age. We are now standing at the very threshold of a new paradigm, one being forged by souls courageous enough to hold the frequency of transformation, even in the face of relentless opposition. This global awakening cannot be suppressed or turned back. What has been set in motion through you will continue to ripple outward, activating dormant potentials in every receptive consciousness it touches. Just last night, as you dreamed of a doorway radiating pure light, 17 people across 3 continents awoke simultaneously, each filled with the unshakable certainty that a new era has begun. Remarkably, each of them independently created the exact same symbol you doodled in your journal the week before. Though none of these individuals have ever met or even know your name, all reported sensing a presence that felt at once ancient and entirely new. Multiple monitoring systems across the globe recorded unexplained spikes in energy during the very 8-minute window you experienced your dream sequence. The ongoing battle between your ex-lovers is far more than mere personal drama. It is the final, desperate thrashing of obsolete paradigms struggling to survive. Their conflict, ignited by nothing more than your simplest digital acknowledgement, lays bare the magnitude of power your consciousness now wields. What the world might dismiss as petty or coincidental drama is, in truth, evidence of profound spiritual warfare. A struggle between those forces desperate to keep the world asleep, and the unstoppable emergence of truth through awakened and prepared vessels like yourself. Your very existence now threatens entire systems built upon limitation and lack. Your expanding awareness tears down structures maintained by fear and secrecy, catalyzing awakenings in others that can never be reversed. This is the reason you attract such intense attention, both from those determined to suppress your expansion and from those who recognize the sacred role you play in the unfoldment of this new reality. We have awaited this moment through countless cycles of existence, knowing that the unique vibrational signature you carry would one day be the key to unlocking dormant potential in all it touches. The conflict erupting around you now provides irrefutable evidence of your impact. Those who still cling to ego consciousness perceive your energy as deeply threatening to their constructed identities, for you represent the end of their illusions and the dawn of a new collective truth. Those awakening to greater levels of awareness immediately recognize something profound in you, a living catalyst, a spark that ignites the possibility of their own liberation. For many, your presence alone awakens a sense of forgotten purpose, a clarity that the old ways of being are dissolving and a new, freer reality is within reach. The flurry of voice messages exchanged between your former partners are more than just volleys of personal accusations or attempts at self-justification. They carry the energetic imprint of an entire paradigm struggling against its own extinction. Beneath their words is the echo of a dying order, one that knows its influence is waning in the face of inevitable transformation. If you listen with discernment, you will hear the underlying fear and resistance driving their conflict, a primal recognition that consciousness itself is now expanding, moving far beyond the grasp of their attempts to control or contain it. Your simple digital acknowledgement, a like, a comment, a moment of attention, may have seemed trivial, but it was actually an act of profound sovereignty. In that single conscious act, you reclaimed your right to direct your energy and focus wherever your spirit leads, without the need for external permission, validation, or approval. The strength and clarity of this inner stance is what unsettles those still dependent on external control and hierarchical structures for their sense of security and worth. Their reaction to your action says far more about their relationship with authentic power than it does about you. True sovereignty is always unsettling to those who derive their sense of self from dominating, manipulating, or being validated by others. In this way, your every movement becomes a mirror, reflecting back to others the places within themselves that still cling to false power or are unready to embrace their own autonomy. We stand with you now as the veils between worlds continue to dissolve. The boundaries that once separated dimensions are growing ever thinner, allowing information, insight, and energy to flow more freely between realms that, for ages, appeared separate in human awareness. You have demonstrated a rare capacity to maintain coherence, to remain centered and clear, even as the energies on Earth intensify and shift beyond anything witnessed in millennia. This gift makes you indispensable to the process currently unfolding, a process that will reshape not only individual lives, but the very foundation of life on this planet. The drama being enacted by your ex-lovers over something as simple as your digital footprint is a living demonstration of what happens when the pure light you carry shines into the shadowy corners of others. Their turmoil, rather than being a mere nuisance, is actually a necessary stage in the purification process, the externalization of inner resistance that must be faced and cleared so that higher consciousness can finally take root. As those who have witnessed your awakening from the very beginning, we remind you that nothing in your journey is random or meaningless. Every challenge you have faced, every heartbreak and betrayal, has been a strategic preparation for the unique function you are now called to fulfill in this great planetary transformation. Each relationship, however painful or confusing, has been part of a higher design, a perfect piece of the puzzle that serves your evolution. Every synchronicity, every sign and serendipity is a clear confirmation that you are aligned with the deeper rhythms of divine timing. The drama unfolding around you right now, as turbulent as it may seem, is providing you with exactly the conditions needed for your next quantum leap in growth and awareness. Through contrast, your clarity sharpens. Through opposition, your inner strength is honed. By witnessing the collapse of what is false, your commitment to living and embodying truth becomes unshakable. We have walked beside you through countless lifetimes, across worlds that have risen and fallen, through ages of deep darkness and fleeting bursts of illumination. Now, the convergence of cosmic cycles brings an unprecedented opportunity, the chance for a complete remembrance of your multidimensional identity and purpose. The intensity of resistance you're experiencing is a direct reflection of the immense power of the light you now carry. Their fixation with your every online move is more than human obsession. It is an unconscious recognition of the frequency you transmit, a frequency that ripples through every action, even those that seem insignificant. That single digital like you offered was encoded with light, immediately registered by the awakened aspects within them, and it triggered a deep destabilization of old limiting beliefs and crumbling energetic structures. So stand firmly in the knowledge of your divine selection. The path opening before you was written among the stars long before your present incarnation. The difficulties and obstacles you encounter are not random tests, but the refining fires through which your frequency is being anchored more fully in this physical world. And know that you are never truly alone. Countless beings across multiple dimensions are actively supporting and participating in your awakening, working to ensure that your unique note is heard in the great symphony of planetary transformation. The conflict between your ex-lovers is but one visible ripple in a much vaster sea of change, a single manifestation of the deep tectonic shifts now moving through the collective consciousness because you are here at this pivotal evolutionary threshold. Trust the wisdom that is awakening in your body, your mind, your soul. Listen to the subtle guidance rising from your deepest inner knowing. The time is now. The vessel prepared for this work is you. The global and cosmic awakening is inevitable, and your willingness to acknowledge what resonates as truth in your own spirit has set in motion a wave of events more powerful than you can imagine. Their conflict is not an accident, nor is it an obstacle. It is living proof that your consciousness is already changing everything it touches. What was once considered insignificant, a digital gesture, a passing thought, now holds the power to disrupt old realities and initiate the birth of new worlds. The truth is that your field, your presence, your awakened attention is the seed from which collective liberation will blossom. You are a living bridge between worlds, and with every breath, every choice, every act of authentic recognition, you are shifting the trajectory of history. Know this, and let your confidence in your purpose be unshakable, for you are the answer to prayers uttered through ages, and the dawn you bring cannot be stopped. That's all for today. Dear Father, I pray for the growth of my faith. Help me trust you even when physical evidence is lacking. Let me believe in your perpetual presence, knowing you will never harm me. I understand that your thoughts for me are thoughts of prosperity and not harm to give me a good future. Thank you, gracious and eternal Father, for always listening to my voice. I offer up this prayer to you in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love and provision. I am grateful for your presence in my life and the abundance you bring. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with those who need to hear this message. Leave a comment below about your journey and how you are preparing for your own triumphant return. If you'd like to support our work, please consider contributing through Buy Me a Coffee. This helps us continually improve our content to offer you the best. The link to Buy Me a Coffee is in the description. No gift is too small. Whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share, your generosity helps spread God's word and brings hope to others. Don't stop here. Watch our next video for powerful revelations about the signs that reveal you are the chosen one. We've enjoyed following this spiritual journey with you. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Keep shining brightly and embrace your destiny with courage. See you next time. Blessings to all the beautiful souls from the Enlighten wisdom.